Hello and welcome back to another day in the woods where we are continuing renovation in the house, which might be a bit odd that I'm walking away from it right now, but I need some stuff out the car as I needed a few bits and bobs to finish off the bathroom. When I say bathroom, what I actually mean is the plumbing. Yes, I've still got a little bit of plumbing left to do. One thing I didn't notice when I put in like the cistern and stuff is because of where I'm like centrally laid out the shelves. The soil pipe isn't actually central anymore, and I could use a flexi hose to connect my toilet, but I really want to avoid using them if possible. I don't trust them over time, and because it's going to be concealed behind the wall, I think it would be better just to get the bits and bobs I need to get it fitted in exactly the right place. So as you can see, my flush pipe is actually in the middle of where the toilet's going to go. But as you can see there, the soil pipe doesn't quite come out to where it's meant to. And obviously, if you didn't watch the last vlog, we plasterboarded all this and I left that down there for another sheet of aqua panel, which I have now picked up and got. So today, before we get cracking on with the doorway and knocking that through, I need to fix up the plumb work in here. Basically, just make sure my soil pipe is exactly where I want it to be and get it fixed in place. So much like my flush pipe, when I push my toilet into it, there's no movement. I don't want to be like trying to reach behind to pull it in and stuff like that. I just want it fixed in place so I don't have to worry about it in the future. Okay, I've got a coupler on to extend the pipe out. It is now exactly where I want it. It's poking out of the wall like so, probably too far to be honest. But I would rather have the pipe too far than not long enough, etc., and too short. That way, you know, when it comes to actually finishing off this wall and putting the toilet in there, I can cut it exactly to size on the other side of the wall. So I think this wall is now effectively ready to be sheeted. I don't think there's any, oh no, there is one last thing I need to do, which is annoying. It's to figure out where to put my flush, because I've not catered for that just yet. I haven't entirely figured out how I'm going to cut a circle out of that, because I don't have a hole saw big enough. I might have to use my multi-tool? Yeah, I don't know. What I might do actually first is, this room's a mess. Let's tidy up the workspace, as I worked late last night and I didn't do it before I finished, so much better. I also have the toilet in here now because Jess came up and she's very happy with everything I've done here, but we have decided that the flush is going to go there, right in the middle, above all of the pipe work and stuff. So apparently it encourages you to put the toilet seat down. I don't know about that. I am a well-trained man and I always put the toilet seat down, but I can't say the same for like my children. So yeah. Yeah, so anyways, I digress. That is going to go there. I need to have a little think about how that works before I do it. I'm not entirely sure if I just drill a hole or cut a hole in the aqua panel and then it clips to that, or it needs to be fixed to something like a piece of wood. Let me have a think. Actually, it's quite simple. It's a square on the back, so I need to cut a square out of there where it's going to go, and then it just screws on from the back. So fortunately, as I have access here, it's really easy to connect this later on. Okay, let's get this all measured up and start fitting it in there. Right, I have got my aqua panel cut to the right size. Time to do the holes, which is probably the more difficult thing to do. Normally with all the other pipes I can kind of line the board up and then draw on it, but because of the nature of this one I can't do that. Yeah, it's kind of a bit difficult because they're randomly floating up the wall. It's not easy. So I've got it rested currently against the pipes with a laser line, so I know it's in line, and what I'm thinking is round the back I'm going to draw on the back of the board, so I know where each pipe is. I'm hoping by doing that I'll be able to get the whole spot on. I'm hoping. I'm not confident about this at all. Right, I've drawn on the back, but my gut says I should still measure it. So I've got marks on the back that I can go off, rough measurements, and then I will actually measure using a tape, and hopefully from that I'll get it spot on. Right, I am happy with where my marks are. Fortunately, I've got a hole saw to do the smaller one. I still don't really know what I'm going to do about that. Probably have to use a multi-tool, but let's get this one cut out. Nice and easy, that's one. So wish I had a hole saw for 120mm, but I do not. So let's just pray I can get this nice and neat with a multi-tool. I do think the other way to do it is just to drill a series of holes and follow the circle. That might be better. No idea. Oh my god, would you look at that? Okay, just need to shave a little bit more off and we're good. That went surprisingly well. It is warm today. I don't know why I keep insisting on wearing a hoodie, but anyways, this is all done now. And the pipe is absolutely solid, which makes me very happy. This one's a bit more flexible because it's the way it's attached to the system, but it means I can literally just push my toilet onto it. Obviously, I need to trim them back and get the connectors for them, which I have in the other room. But I'll do that when it, like, after I've, you know, skimmed it, painted it, tiled it, whatever I decide to do with this particular wall. Once the finished wall is there, then I'll trim it back and we'll plumb everything in. The last thing to do is to actually cut out the square for where my flush is going to go, which I have got marked out, obviously indicated by that X there. I could do it now, however, I'm tempted to wait until the toilet is actually there. Because if that isn't bang in the middle of the toilet, it will drive me mental. So I don't really need to do it now. I'll always have access from the top because obviously I'm going to have a wooden shelf here that I can lift out. I may still put a batten here. Not entirely sure what to do about that yet. I don't think it's necessary, but yeah, either way, this shelf can come out. I can access from behind anyway. Obviously, this is double plated at the top, so I need to take that into consideration when I slot that in. I might actually mark out where 2 CLS is down, where that meets up. But there we go. This wall is officially finished. It's ready. Well, I say that I got to do this side, but this wall is finished. It's all done. I'm actually really happy about this. I was so concerned about this for a long time, but thanks to the clips, it's got a nice fall on it to take it down to the stack. It's fixed into place so it doesn't move all over the place. I can push straight into the back of that. Got it all lined up nicely where I want it. So far, so good. It has taken me a long time today to get this finished. Purely because I've got E or OpenReach or BT, whoever, they're coming out to put in a master socket exactly where I want it, because for a little bit of an update on the whole internet situation, we've got rid of mobile broadband. I contacted them and said it wasn't stable enough. It's basically unstable, which is obviously, you get the idea. It wasn't working, so they completely cancelled it all off, no charges whatsoever, and they just moved me to normal broadband. Now, normal broadband speeds are something, I think the guarantee is like guaranteed 18 down, and it's like 1 up. It's like tremendously bad, but it's a landline that is stable. We'll see. We'll see how we get on with that. It's not going to get any better because of where I am. I still have Starlink, but it's cheaper as well. I don't have to. I think I was originally paying like £50 a month for the EE mobile broadband thing. So instead of paying £50, I'm now like paying 20 something. It's significantly cheaper. So either way, I'm just saving money rather than just having mobile broadband. I did move the mobile broadband down to the house, and it just doesn't really work at all. It only seems to work up by the garage. So yeah, it is an upgrade, even though the speed wise it's not very good. The stable connection is ideal. It means I can get a bit of a network set up in the house in terms of like cameras and so on, and TV, just the odd bits and bobs whilst we're down here. So we have internet when we're at the house until I get the trench finished, which I was actually speaking to the guy about connecting up my network cables and doing all of that in the service chamber. I have a good idea of what I'm doing with that now, which is nice, although that'll be down the line. Long term, for this house, when I rewire it, I'll also be running Ethernet ports in every room as well. So it'll be hardwired into every room, and then above the door downstairs where the fuse boxes and stuff, that's where my master socket's going, and I'll also have an Ethernet switch. So I need to bring my Ethernet cable. I've got like Cat 6 or something like that, Cat 6 cable in ducting that I can always upgrade later on. That ducting is going to come into the house, and it's all going to go on a network switch, and then I can extend off that, so I can utilize the Starlink at the top down here. I mean, I could always move the Starlink down to the house and then send it up to the garage. Don't think it really matters either way. We can figure that out down the line. Anyway, I digress. Now that we have got this wall finished, I want to get on with the door. I'm no longer, we'll see. I'm no longer in a major rush to plaster. Unfortunately, I had some bad news today that the plasterer's daughter has fallen ill, so he's taken some time off work to look after his kids, which is completely fair enough. You know, I hope she gets better soon, which is what I said. I've heard that the traders have a thing with cancelling and stuff, so I'm really hoping he doesn't like cancel and keep cancelling. I'm in no rush to do this, but fingers crossed he still comes out and gets it done. Either way, it buys me time to sort the doorway out and get the rest of the room plastered, which needs to be done anyway, so all the walls will be plasterboarded. And worst case scenario, if he delays further and further, then instead of paying for the room to be plastered, I can literally just start tiling that room. Went out this morning, had a look at the tiles that I'm going for. To tile this section, I think it's going to be about £200–250-ish, maybe a little bit more than that, we'll see. But I found some really nice tiles that I personally like. If we get that tile, it's a game changer. So, right, let's start ripping this wall down. I'm so iffy about this, but I think it's for the better. I don't think there is any right or wrong way to do this other than literally just, this is lath and plaster up here, which is going to be dusty. And this is all that chipboard stuff, which is just falls off the wall. I'm going to start from down and work my way up. And then obviously I need to wear a mask to get rid of this stuff. A part of me wonders if I could just put in across here, like if I cut the joist back, cut these uprights back a little bit, we'll see how structural it is when I take it all down. But we could cut it down and put a new header in there and leave that as it is, and then just overboard it. Because this is going to be overboarded. I can overboard that, and then I only have to actually build from this point downwards. It saves messing around with that, because last time I touched lath and plaster, the ceiling started falling down, so I really would like to avoid that. And I don't want to mess around this side either. So if I can leave this point upwards, then I will do. Just leave the lath and plaster up there. That would be great. But like the chances are, that's not going to happen. I do also wish I had a light here. But by the way, some people have been asking. I'm going to just do a Q&A, I think, because I've so many questions need to be answered. The lights, obviously, in the ceiling aren't done yet. I currently have no access to the attic. What I'm currently thinking is when I, like now, run out of money and run out of jobs that I can do with what I've got, I will probably cut a hole and go up into the attic. So in this room, I already know where it's going to go. I already know the loft hatch I'm going to get, and I'm just going to cut it out, and I'll be able to slot it in. When we're kind of like in between jobs with this, when this kind of gets temporarily paused for like money reasons, I will probably go into the attic and I'll start setting up where the spots are going to go, because I've already got the cables for it. I just need to drill the holes and put the spotlights, drop the cables ready for the spotlights. On that same token, people have been asking, a lot of people have asked this question, what are you doing about an extractor fan? It's going up into the attic space. So at the same time I go up to do the lights, I'll do the extractor fan. There's no point me doing it now, because I need to be up there to find out when I drill a hole, like there, above the shower, for example. I feel like that's a really good spot for an extractor, because you can get them above the shower head. I need to be above it to know that I'm not going to hit a joist and stuff like that. So yeah, little update on the ceiling. It's on pause until I have time to do it, but it will be done. So don't stress your faces about that too much. Okay. Yeah, let's just start. I don't even know where to begin with this wall. I'm just going to start taking it down. And as it's likely to get dusty and messy, and I'm probably going to have to wear a mask, and you won't hear me, I'm just going to time-lapse it. So this is what we look like before I started messing around with it. I dread to think the damage I'm going to cause when I start messing around with it. Well, doesn't that quite make a difference? You can't even English because it's shocking that much. Having no door there, it feels way different, like way more than I even anticipated that feeling. I actually quite like how large the opening is. Obviously I can't do that because of the door, but that is mad. I have two options, unfortunately. I did have one option which I was fairly confident about. First option being is these studs come down, and what I can do is add some battens or some timber between each one and structurally create like a kind of like a header. Then I can run battens up the side, put another header in, and it's all properly supported upwards. So I don't have to worry about that. I can use the existing timbers out. I'd have to knock all this down, which is relieving. The other option, which I hadn't really... It's crossed my mind. It's been mentioned a few times. However, I kind of dismissed it because it just seemed pointless. Jess has just come up and had a look herself. And the other option is to move the door into the bathroom. So in effect, that wall there would continue all the way through. And you would just get this, would just become more landing space. I don't really see the point in it. In so many ways, it is quite literally just dead space. Whether it's dead space in the bathroom or dead space on the landing, to me, it doesn't really matter. Like, the only thing it matters to me is it just creates more work. It's a lot more work. Well, it is and it isn't. Like, I could build up the framework for the door in here with the existing stud work that I've got in this room, and I don't have to actually worry about knocking any of this down for a while. I can just start from scratch within the bathroom, and then when it comes to sorting the other side of the door, this side obviously, then I can get to it then. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing, or a good idea, or a bad idea. I don't know if these timbers that are in are needed to support what's above it. Like, I don't know. And to me, it just screams unnecessary. It's just not needed. Whilst it would be nice to get to the top of the stairs and there'd be a bit more room to walk around, and like, because right now you stand and you have to turn on the spot to go each room. It's not the end of the world, really. It's been fine for however many years, this house has been stood here. But if there is ever a time to do it, it is now. Regardless of that decision, the fact that I can reuse all of this and build up a new doorway to match with this one, I am very happy about. It's genuinely, the fact that it's just so big is actually quite nice. Oh, I don't know what to do. Right. I'm leaning towards moving the door into the bathroom. The only thing I need to find out before I do that and make that decision is this wall and what it's doing. It's obviously lath and plaster, but I need to know if I can take it down because if I can't take it down, then it kind of defeats the point of making the landing a little bit bigger, because aesthetically, with this wall gone and opening the landing up and putting a banister across there, it would actually aesthetically look really nice when I redo the stairs. But I don't know, like, if this, for example, in the corner is doing anything. I can't tell. At some point, by the looks of it, it had laths on it. I wonder if this was actually a lath and plaster wall a long time ago. But the easiest way to do that is to go up there and chisel out a bit of the plaster at the top to see if it's actually structurally doing anything for the ceiling. I don't think it is, to be perfectly honest, because it's currently resting on like a noggin down there. But I won't know until I chisel out up there and have a look. If this wall is doing nothing, just put my finger through it, I'm going to move the door in. I know I've rabbited on about this, but it's like, I'm getting to the point where I hate making decisions on this house. I can't wait to sit back, once this room is done, sit back and just think and process everything before I make a decision on like the house. Like to plan out properly how I'm going to do the bedrooms and stuff like that. But this is like a time limit, need to get it done, just winging it and going with the flow. Don't get me wrong, I'm actually quite happy with how it's all turned out, to be fair. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to plan things. Anyways, let's get on the ladder and take a look. As far as I can tell, it's not doing anything. It's just a stud wall. That being said, even if it was doing something, it's not like holding the entire ceiling up. What I can do is, even if I remove this, in the attic space, I can like put noggins in and support the beams from above anyway to hold the ceiling up. So this wall can come down, which I'd never even considered or thought something. I never thought that would be something I'd be saying, but yeah, I can knock this wall down. So I think that's what I'm going to do. However, in line with, you know, the whole renovating the bathroom, converting the bathroom and so on, it is technically not a part of the bathroom. So for that reason, I'm not going to knock it down in this vlog, or, you know, I don't know when I'm going to do it. I'll do it at some point. But due to me moving obviously into the bathroom, I can just start building up the new doorway, do all of my not stud work, well, stud work for the doorway, and then obviously all of my plasterboarding. I can plaster everything in this room and just leave it on the other side of the door. I don't have to worry about it right now. I can come back later on, knock that bit down up there, knock this wall down as well. The only thing I probably will do is to line it up with this wall in the stairwell. I'll probably drill a hole through so I know exactly where to line it up, or just chisel out a section of this one. I mean, half of it's falling off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, probably cut through here. What I'm going with, or what I'm leaning towards, is I'm going to build the door frame on top of a joist. Before, it just was floating. If you saw it in time lapse, I literally pushed it and it just fell off, which is slightly concerning. But yeah, it wasn't, it was just floating there. It wasn't supported below or anything like that. So what I'm thinking is there happens to be a joist right there that runs in line with that wall in the stairwell. So I'm just going to continue going along that joist, build up my new door frame, and then just work from within the bathroom. It means I can get the doorway all nice and lined up. Later on, we'll have a nice larger landing space. And what I'm actually considering now, which is a little frustrating because obviously had I thought about this before, blah, blah, blah. Technically speaking, now that I have a large, or I will have a larger landing, I could actually put the loft hatch in here on the landing, which would make a whole lot of sense. The downside to that is whether I can actually do it there, which I'm pretty sure I can. Fortunately, because I vlog everything, I can go back and check the vlogs and what the attic looked like, so I can remind myself where what is and so on and so forth. But yeah, putting a loft hatch on the landing now makes a lot more sense than sticking it in Lilia's room, which I hadn't thought about until this very clip. So, right, with that in mind, let's just crack on and start making progress in this room. Albeit a fairly large achievement. All I've done today is this. First things first, I need to make sure I follow this wall through into the next room. Otherwise, it's going to look quite weird with the doorway sticking out and stuff. So, to be thorough, I'm going to chisel a hole through flush with this wall, as I'm 99.99% positive this will be overboarded because it's a lath and plaster wall. Actually, it swaps to brick down here. Let me think about that. Right, I think to be sure, I'm going to go back to wherever the stud work is. Actually, you know what? I might actually get a stud when I go through here. Actually, let me think about it. What I'm thinking is there is a stud here and there's a stud here, and I can actually put my hand through between the two of them. And then obviously in the bathroom, you know, there's like that slanted wall that is directly in that corner, which is fairly obvious. So what I'm going to do, because this wall that I'm against now, half of it is brickwork, then there's a joist, and then it's studded all the way up for the rest of the room. Likely chances are, because of the obviously the space for the stairwell, I'm gonna have to take the plaster off and go back to brick, much like the downstairs bathroom. So I'm gonna chisel away a bit here, so I can get access through, so I can find out exactly where this stud work lines up with, because the stud work will line up with the brick. It should do at least anyway. So let's get this chiseled through, plug a hole through, and we can kind of go from there. All right, I have broken through and found out exactly where I need to build my new door frame. By the way, if it's not obvious, I'm wearing the new hoodie in the woods. You can get yours now, link on screen. And it's a new day because it was getting quite late yesterday, and with BT and everyone, just couldn't get anything done. But on the other side, I've also cut through here, just cut a little bit more out so you could actually see it properly. But this stud work right here is in line with the wall and everything. So basically, I'm going to add an upright right there, so it's in line with this wall that I've built out there, which means I need a bottom plate, a top plate, and some other studs which I'll explain. But that upright will go right there, and I'll line it up with that piece of timber in the wall. That way I know it's following all the way across, and my doorway will be spot on. I've been sat here thinking about the best way to do this for like the last 5 minutes. And the more I think about it, the more I reckon the correct way to do this is to knock this wall down first. I'm trying to build a new door around this wall that I'm inevitably going to knock down. So I'm kind of thinking now, before I just get carried away trying to build a new doorway and rushing it, if I build the doorway now and try and leave this wall intact temporarily, I'm just creating more work for myself. I think it's going to be better if I knock this wall down, so when I build a new doorway, I can tie it into the existing wall that's going to stay there, as I don't really want to go through the stress of like ripping off all the lath and plaster for up here. I have a funny feeling that when I take, like obviously the brickwork, I can potentially strip it back to brick, which is fine. But when I go to strip off all the lath and plaster, I don't actually know how many studs are in that wall. So trying to batten over that, I think it's just going to create more work than necessary. Whereas the wall itself seems perfectly fine. I can overboard it and it should be okay. So I reckon the best thing to do now is, as nice as it would be to build the door frame this very moment, I think I'm going to get a mask on and I'm going to knock this down, which was not on my bingo card for today. Yay! Time-lapse time! By the end of it, this is going to look mighty different. Everyone, fingers crossed for me, cross your toes. Let's run the time lapse. So that was incredibly dusty, as you can see by my hair. That's kind of tinted a different color now. Unfortunately, I hit record. I don't know if it's because I had gloves on or something like that. I hit record for the time lapse of me tidying everything, but it didn't actually record anything. So I've cleaned it up now. I have to say, I've just walked up the stairs. I just got to the top of the stairs. I thought, that is bizarre. It looks. Let me show you. Honestly, I can't. I don't even think the camera does it justice to how different this is. Now, due to the fact that I've been filming this vlog for 2 days and how long it's taken me to rip this wall down, it might have seemed like a quick process, but cleaning it up took ages. I'm not going to be able to build the door frame in today's vlog. So in the next vlog, I'm going to build the door frame up, get that basically finished, plaster everything, and then that room is going to be done and ready. I can't see the plasterer coming round before I do that. If he does, he does. But yeah, we'll see. Like, I'm 99% positive that he's going to cancel and rearrange a date for it, to be perfectly honest, because he's falling behind on jobs, and I'm probably quite low on the list. But yeah, it's just, I don't even know if I've filmed ever walking up the stairs, but I'm going to do it now just to show how different this is. So, everyone's favourite squeaky step. Still squeaking. But you walk up now, and it's like, so it's just so open. A lot of you might be like, well, duh, you've knocked a wall down, or 2 walls down in effect. But yeah, I'm sorry, Nan, if you're watching this video. I don't think, even in my wildest imagination, did I ever think I was going to do what I have done to this house. Like, I kind of knew when, you know, the idea came around of me moving in here, I kind of knew I was going to have to gut the house to make it feel like home for me. And in a sense of, like, it's always felt like home, but it not feel like I'm going to Nan's house. Like, this is still Nan's room to me. Do you know what I mean? That is still Nan's room. This room that I've turned into a bathroom was always like my uncle's room, because he had his desk in here, and I used to spend hours sat by that window watching him like play games and stuff like that. Because I've done so much to his room, it doesn't feel like his room anymore. But this is still my Nan's bedroom. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I kind of knew I was going to have to do a lot to this house to make it feel like my house, if that makes sense. And I don't think deep down it ever will be my house, but it needs to kind of feel like that, if you know what I mean. Especially like Jess, who's, you know, always visited to come and see my Nan and stuff, and it needs to feel like her home. It's our family home. I'm sure people totally understand this, but I never thought I would do what I've done to this house. I had the idea kind of late on to the process of like deciding to move here, of putting the bathroom upstairs, but actually seeing it in there now, and this wall gone, is just, it's mind-boggling. It changes the house a lot. Like, just picture all this staircase is going to come out, and we're going to do like a more open staircase. Like, obviously, there's going to be a banister there, and like a banister down, and so on, so it's safe, obviously. Have a landing here. There'll be the wall will just continue on here with a new door, like probably like a solid oak wooden door in there that takes you into the bathroom. Like, wall here. It's just, it's wild. It is so wild. For people watching the vlogs, you probably don't get it the same way that I do, because I grew up here in this house. You know what I mean? I've slept here multiple times over years. And I've spent so much time in this house. It is bonkers that it changes so much. I do think now that with the new wall there and this new space here, I need to fix the ceiling, because fortunately, it was just a stud wall, so it wasn't actually structurally doing anything, but it needs replastering. Obviously, the plaster will do all that kind of stuff. and it'll tie it all in, and then I'll be able to stick a loft hatch on the landing, where I feel like naturally that's always where a loft hatch goes. Could be wrong on that statement, but I just can't get over how different it is. In many ways, I am glad that we did it. Just what a messy, dusty experience that was. I have to say, I'm quite happy that this room doesn't feel any different with the fact that this has been knocked through. Granted, it is still going to be a relatively small bathroom. Obviously, once the bath goes in and the toilet and the sink is all in here, it's going to feel a lot smaller, especially when that wall is there. But it is, technically speaking, still bigger than the downstairs toilet, because this bathroom comes into the corridor, because where I'm stood right now is technically I'm stood above the corridor. So it does come into the corridor, so it is a larger room. And to be honest, I don't think you really need a massive bathroom. It's functional, it does everything. We've obviously taken up space by building a stud wall, but we've utilized that space to create shelving. We've obviously got my silly boxes in the shower to put toiletries. The only thing I think it might be missing is a place for the kids to store their toys, which is a very short-term problem, because obviously the kids will grow up and they won't want them anymore. But the one thing we've noticed with Benjamin for like the last 6 years of him having baths is that he always takes toys in the bath, and there's always crap loads of toys everywhere. And I just know that they'll end up on that windowsill. It would be nice for there to be an area for toys to go. But I think we have made the most of this space. And I'm talking like we've finished it, but we haven't. It's just, yeah, I don't think, as I said earlier on when I was umming and ahhing about what to do, God, this has been such a long vlog. Whether that space is in the bathroom or in the corridor, it's just dead space. It was never going to be used. It's literally just a walkway to get into the bathroom. So it kind of does make a lot of sense, logically speaking, to move the bathroom door, because you don't need to open a door and then walk to get to the bathroom. You know what I mean? That's what a corridor and a landing is actually for. So yeah, the last thing I'm hoping for, which I am 99% positive after I put the door in, I do think the door is going to swing and hit the radiator. Now, this piece of wood here is not the same width as a door. It's not far off it though. But if I was to pivot this and swing it, you can see straight away that it does hit the radiator. I don't think it's the end of the world, as that's exactly how it was at the flat, to be honest. The only downside of the flat is that the door used to swing. If you were sat on the toilet, the door would hit your knee because of the way that the door swung. So yeah, it's not terrible. I could swing the door the other way, but I don't think that's a good idea. It should swing to the wall, in my humble opinion. I could swing it out, so you pull the door and it opens into the corridor, and then it doesn't take any space in there. But I don't really know about that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you guys have bathrooms where the door opens out into the landing? I don't feel like it does. I feel like it always opens into the bathroom. There's something to think about before I actually hang the door. But man, what a day. What a day. I'm actually really excited now. Me personally, excited for the next vlog to get this stud work all built up, get everything plastered, and then when you walk into this room, it's ready to go. We'll have the plaster out, he'll skim the whole room. Hopefully he doesn't delay too long. Then it's on to fitting the bath in, tiling the walls, and then just painting the room and fitting the toilet and the sink, and it's done. That's it, it's ready to go. So we are actually, with the exception of finances, we're actually very close to being able to do the bathroom. I quoted up the tiles. I think I've mentioned this already actually. It's like £200-300 depending on how much materials cost. The tiles themselves to tile that wall is about £125. So I'm allowing for excess and grout adhesive, strips, edging strips and stuff like that. I don't know about how much paint is going to cost me, because apparently with freshly plastered walls, they need to be properly primed with watered down paint before you actually properly paint them. Oh yeah, I've got to do the lights and the extractor. But yeah, we are really close. The only thing that's holding me back now is money, because I could get this room done like that, if I had the money to do it. I know, I was thinking about this earlier when I was like doing the school run. I'm gonna stop talking about it because I know it's like a sticking point. People hate talking about money, but it is just because of how day to day my vlogs are, and this is my life. It is a big thing that holds me back because a lot of people, like I said, have asked like, why are you doing things temporarily? Why does it take so long? Why are you messing around cleaning for a vlog and not just doing the house renovation? It's because money doesn't grow on trees. So yeah, but I'm gonna stop rabbiting on about money because I think it annoys me when I edit the videos back and I keep seeing or hearing myself talk about it. But man, what a change that is. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this whole new open stair like casing, because I'm unsure. I hope my nan doesn't hate me. I feel like I have a strange suspicion that my nan is like regretting saying, hey Nathan, would you like to move into the house? I don't know. In my eyes, it's like a long-term see the vision. Once this is all done and replastered, I mean, look at the ceiling. Like, just when I'm finished with this house, it is gonna be such a beautiful home. And I hopefully the work I'm putting in now, knocking walls down and rebuilding them and stuff like that, preserves the longevity of this house, because I think it will do. Lath and plaster has definitely seen better days when the wallpaper is holding it up. But anyways, this is probably being like a fucking 45-50 minute vlog because I'm just chatting rubbish, and I can't help it. It's just there's like, because of the emotional attachment to this house and the doing it and how I feel, I end up just expressing it all in the video, and I probably shouldn't. Maybe I might just, the next vlog, it might just be a video of me not really yabbiting at all and just doing the job. It'll be like a quick 10-minute vlog. That's what my vlogs used to be like, to be fair. But right, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you've not done so already, I'm gonna set you up on a very, very temperamental tripod here. You're actually leaning on a crowbar. It's the new In the Woods merch, which I've absolutely plastered in dust. Life in the Woods. Hoodies, t-shirts, super comfortable. A lot of people are really happy with like different tones that you can get, like different color tones that you can grab. I'll showcase them on screen right now. If you want to get yours, then go to orionwhittle.com and support me and my family and the things that we do. I've spent hours crawling around hours in Illustrator putting this whole thing together, and it means a lot to me and my family that you guys have gone out your way to support me. So big shout out to the guys over on Patreon as well, who go every month by month, just constantly supporting us. It means a lot. So can't thank you guys enough. But I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, much love. Bye bye. In many ways, okay, I have broken through. I have done a fair bit of damage, kind of, itchy face.